Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. When your enemy reports that they're not doing very well and they're not performing right, that means that things are even worse than they report. But at least that tells you that the situation is bad. In this case, I have two articles from Ukrainian media regarding Bakhmut, the hottest spot and the Ukrainian front, where the Ukrainians seem to be encircled. Their exit door is almost closed, and they're bombarded over there. And some troops were ordered a retreat in the middle of the night, so they withdraw. And I have two articles that give us an update. Some bridges were burned. Literally, not like, oh my God, I'm not going to talk to you, we're done. No, bridges are burnt over there. And it seems like the Ukrainians are really in a bad position. So as I said, one comes from, I didn't say that yet, but I'll say it right now. One comes from the British intelligence and the other one comes from the American Institute of Study of War. Both of them will give us the assessment, but they will be provided by the Ukrainska Pravda, Ukrainian media outlet. But if they put this on writing, that means the situation is 3 times worse. That's how I got to know through direct experience. When I tell you, well, 5 of our fighters died, well, multiply it by 3, and usually like 15, okay? 5, okay, 15. We killed, 15 enemy fighters, divided by 3, usually the same. That's how I got to learn, and I was pretty accurate with an error of about 5% of the actual numbers. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda. It is from March 3rd, 2023. Institute of Study of War comments on possible withdrawal of Ukraine's defense forces from part of Bakhmut. Yesterday I covered this, and they said that some troops are withdrawing. They received order to withdraw. That's one. And the other one, Ukrainska Pravda, this is from today, March 4th, 2023. Ukrainian defense in Bakhmut under heavy pressure. 2 key bridges destroyed, British intelligence. Let's start with this one. The Ukrainian defenses in the city of Bakhmut, Donetsk Oblast, is under increasing pressure. Defense, I think an S is missing there, and intense fighting is taking place in the city and its vicinities. Source, the daily summary of British intelligence cited by European Pravda. And I'm quoting, the regular Russian army and Wagner Group forces have moved further into the northern suburbs of the city, which are now a Ukrainian-held border, vulnerable to Russian attacks from 3 sides, end quote, the report said. It is noted that Ukraine is strengthening the area with elite units. Where from? From their ass? I mean, they've been fighting for a year and they still have elite units? Oh, well, okay. Well, maybe you lower the bar. And in the last 36 hours, 2 key bridges in Bakhmut were destroyed. By whom? Including a vital bridge connecting the city with the last main supply route from Bakhmut to the city of Shasir Yar. And I'm going, see, when you hear this, 2 key bridges were destroyed. You must know exactly who destroyed that. It was your artillery or whatever you put under that bridge, or it was the other side. Not mentioning that, probably it was them. Otherwise, they would point their fingers to the evil Russians. But even now, they can say, well, it was the Russians. Who's going to know? How am I going to verify that? How are you going to verify that? I don't think that little piece of information I will stumble over in my life, or you, unless you really look deeper into that, which I will not, because I think that's just a detail, but just to point out how articles are written. And now I'm quoting, the supply routes controlled by the Ukrainian authorities from the city are becoming increasingly limited. Well, the thing is, they reported that actually the Russians are controlling the entry and exit routes from Bakhmut with their artillery. That means whatever comes in and gets out is going to get shelled. They don't control all of it. I think there's 1 or 2 roads that the Ukrainians still can get out, but they're under the quote-unquote protection of the Russian artillery. Earlier, the UK Defense Ministry provided for a deterioration in conditions for movement around the area in the Bakhmut area, which is likely to be advantageous for Ukrainian defenders. Well, yeah, okay, this is this assessment from the British intelligence, who is intelligent and will tell us only but the truth. Ukrainska Pravda, Institute of Study of War, comments on possible withdrawal of Ukraine's defense forces from part of Bakhmut. All right, let's see. The Institute of Study of War has suggested that Ukraine's defense forces may be preparing a controlled withdrawal from part of the city of Bakhmut. Details. I would like to know this guys really, this Institute of Study of War, kind of like how many employees have, how do they gather information, what sources they can access, are they, which I know they're not, in the field assessing the situation, because the information they have as a public institution, I would say, cannot come from, confidential information or direct communication with Zaluzny or Zelensky, and they're going to tell them, classified information. So they have probably public knowledge, public information that is available over there. They think, because they're experts, they put it together and they come with certain conclusions. But I would like to know, a little bit more why the Ukrainians are using these guys all the time, like being, the last word in the matter. Otherwise, if the Institute of Study of War tomorrow would say something mildly critical of Ukraine or the West, they will not be used anymore. Guarantee you that. How do I guarantee you that? I've seen that happening before. You become a foe the minute you say a little bit from the other side, or you look at the issue a little bit 1 degree left or right from the approved and needed script. You can't do that. So then you're out. If you say you're a golden kid of whatever, you're the darling of the society, you're the darling of the mass media, push forward. You say one thing, not necessarily evil, but something that really doesn't meet and fit the narrative. If you don't apologize and then you do my mea culpa and so on, you're out. You're out. This kind of blind, tyrannical, control of this information tells me that these guys are really very, very uncomfortable and uncertain of their position. That means they don't feel that strong. They're not confident. Otherwise, you will be a little bit like, let's say you fight with someone and you're gonna beat that guy easily. You can afford being a little bit like funny or, showboating over here and do this and that. But if the fight is really, you might be losing, you don't leave anything. Like in tennis, every little thing you're gonna contest. Oh, that's not it. That is not it. I'm disputing that. I'm challenging that. But if you're like a 6-1, 6-1, and you got the third set, and you got like 5-1, you fight for everything. That shows, don't show class. When you go, whatever, man. And then you lose like 2 or 3 points like this. Why do you think that guy is gonna win after you have 5-1? And you got 6-1, 6-1 the first 2 sets. But anyway, some people are like that. But if they're like that with that, they will be like that with you, and with their wives, and with their kids, and with their friends, if they have any. Anyway, let's move on. All right, details. The Institute of Study of War suggested that Ukrainian forces appear to be setting conditions for a controlled withdrawal from certain parts of the city. You see how these weasels are? They appear to be setting conditions of a controlled certain parts. This should be like this. Ukrainian forces are going to withdraw because they're losing. There's the details. Bam! But they are so mild, and sometimes, I don't know if you guys know, you receive an email at work coming from someone, gentle reminder. No, I want a reminder. I don't want it to be gentle. I don't want to be rough. I just wanted reminder. No, gentle reminder. We have a meeting scheduled for today at 12:34. See you there. Peace and love and happiness. Off. I don't want that. And gentle reminder. The same. Gentle. They put it so gently and mildly. No, I tell you what the truth is. Those guys are withdrawing because they're losing. What am I supposed? And they don't want to lose more lives. What's wrong with that? Well, it sounds bad, Emil. You're so rude. But what am I supposed to do? Give you flowers or what? Yeah. Kindness. Yeah, kindness. No, I appreciate truth more than kindness, okay? If you can have them both, that's fine. But kindness would never be on top of truth, for me at least. It would be if probably my life will be in danger. I'm going to be a weasel probably and beg, don't kill me. Yes, whatever you say. Yeah, okay. The Institute reiterated the Russian forces have been fighting to take Bakhmut roughly since 2022 and have suffered devastating. You see this? This compared with this gentle reminder, forces appear to be setting conditions for controlled withdrawal from certain parts of the city. No, the Russians are fighting to take Bakhmut roughly May, exactly. So it shows, oh my God, a year, the weasels, and they suffered devastating casualties in the process. Compare this with that. Thank you very much. And I understand it. It comes from what? From Ukrainska Pravda, and this is probably the Institute of Study of War. Good job. Now you know how objective those analysts are. And I'm quoting, if the Ukrainian military command deems it necessary to withdraw from Bakhmut, it will likely conduct a limited and controlled withdrawal from particular difficult sectors of eastern Bakhmut. All right, again, weasel talk. The Institute of Study of War also mentioned that Russian President Vladimir Putin, your president is not a dictator anymore? That surprises me. Did not address the reported situation in Bryansk Oblast in a readout of an emergency meeting with the Russian Security Council of 3rd of March. Yes, he said that Americans are also responsible for that attack because allegedly the guys who infiltrated across the border were using Western weapons, and they also said that they had the approval of the Ukrainian leadership. Therefore, they are also responsible for the terrorist attack. So yeah, let me brief you, but this was from the 3rd, and what time? 9:20 p.m. They should have known by then, because I knew that yesterday before 9:20 p.m. But maybe it was their time, or maybe it was, let me see if I have another date here. No, I don't know if it was Kiev's time when these guys wrote the report, or it's US time, Eastern time. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, here we go. The Russian dictator. We got it. Thank you very much. At the same time, Russian sources widely claim that Putin held a meeting to discuss anti-terrorist security measures in response to the Bryansk incident. Well, the incident was kind of like some people kill other people. That's the incident. Unarmed, by the way. But the readout of the meeting instead recycled a number of tired Kremlin talking points. Very pointed, very clear. It's not like maybe could, gentle reminder bullshit. The Russian dictator did not use the opportunity to introduce any new objectives or means for Russian military operations in Ukraine. That means everything works just fine. If something works, don't change anything. But anyway, what do you expect with these guys? The ISW also commented on the situation in Zaporozhye nuclear power plant. In particular, Russian authorities continued efforts to portray Russia as the only safe operator of the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant, likely to constrain the international atomic energy presence in Zaporozhye nuclear power plant and compel the de facto recognition of Russian ownership of Zaporozhye nuclear power plant. Yeah, the thing is like this. The Western weasels placed sanctions on Zaporozhye nuclear power plant. That means by de facto you recognize it as being Russian. Otherwise you would not place sanctions on an institution that you claim it's yours. What, you sanctioned yourself? But hey, do you expect a little bit? Nah, no more. So here we have Bakhmut bad. They are retreating. Bakhmut is done. I've been saying this for more than a month. I made a video on February 1st when I said Bakhmut is over, everything is over. But you know how the truth has short legs. It needs more time to get to the party. The lie has long legs, it comes faster. Gives the news, and when the truth comes, everybody ridicules the truth. What are you talking about? But the truth is going to eventually come. And in this case, it needed, at least for me here, to expose, oh, we're withdrawing a month ago. But once you know these guys is written, you see their little pattern, you realize how they function, how they operate, and then when they tell, when you hear Bakhmut, we win, we're winning, and then you say, well, the things are okay in Bakhmut. If it's not fantastic and it's okay, that little drop should tell you is very bad already. But that's a sign. If they drop from fantastic to okay, you know they're losing. And this is the observation. Just pay attention and see. If you just use like Zelensky, if Zelensky, I don't know, says Zelensky is the perfect guy right now. When you're going to start hearing the mindless criticism of Zelensky, like maybe Zelensky is not, maybe he's a little bit, they're not going to say corrupt first. They're going to say maybe he's not paying too much attention to the corruption in Ukraine or something. Oh, that means it's really bad. And then little by little, if he doesn't change behavior, they're going to go deeper and deeper and deeper and attack him and his character and whatever. If he's going to do what he's required, immediately he's not going to be called a strong man, and then so on. Look how people are called, for instance, Vučić, the president of Serbia, and others. If they do something the West doesn't like, he doesn't become the president of Serbia. He's becoming a strong man, or first, authoritarian. Or, and then you drop to dictator, and then to tyrant and whomever. Oh, you want to look at this kind of thing? Look at Maduro in Venezuela. Look how he, from nothing, he became this. Or look at the other one before him, what's it? Hugo Chavez, the darling, and then he became the evil, and so on. And then Maduro redeems himself. Right now he comes back to the president Maduro, when he was not recognized by the Western countries. But you know why he became president all of a sudden? Because he agreed to give US oil. They allowed him to sell his oil outside. That's how it is. Because US somehow controls how much oil Venezuela is allowed and with whom to do business. Because Venezuela is an independent sovereign state, like Ukraine. It's so much hypocrisy, my friends. But at least it's in your face. Why? Because these guys are promoting these kind of things, or are exposing, or just plainly say it, because the weasels would not catch it. And I don't care about you and I. I care about those weasels. Why? Because they vote. And they don't need 100% approval. No, they need 40%. That's it. And then with 40%, they're going to win. What? Because we're not 40%. All right? We're less than 40%. So they don't care about us to convince us. No, they know we can't be convinced, because we think above a 13-year-old boy or girl, even though it's a difference over there in, I'm not going to go into science now, but in general, a 13-year-old boy's brain versus a girl's, it's a little bit different. Women, girls mature, their brain matures faster. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.